Now, we know Otterbein is a great place. It's built on relationships and it is built on traditions, and I hope tonight we are starting a new tradition at Otterbein. We're going to learn more about our homecoming court, more about our honorees, our Alumni Award honorees, and we'll hear a very special address from President Comerford. Actually, you've heard the first part. You're actually going to hear all of it this next time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and please enjoy the celebration of Otterbein.
Good evening, Cards. My name is Franny Francique, and I have the great pleasure of serving as the president of Otterbein University Student Government. On behalf of all the students, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our entire Otterbein community, both past and present. Although this year looks a little different than what we were all expecting, I am so proud of all the ways that my peers have risen to the occasion by finding new ways to connect, do the things that they love, and still protect themselves. We are all learning together and making the steps in the right directions. I have always loved the way that Otterbein has been able to shine light on the small moments. As I am personally coming closer and closer to the end of my time here at Otterbein, I truly just love reminiscing on all the things that have made my experience great. It's the long nights outside of the campus center just laughing with my friends. It's the game nights at the House of Black Culture. It's getting to have one-on-one conversations with my residents and playing community builders with first-year students as we welcome them to Otterbein. There is so much to be grateful for in those small moments. There is so much beauty in those small moments, and there is excellence to be found in those small moments. Student government is committed to fostering those small moments and committing themselves to create a campus culture that is for students by students. At the core of all that we do is a commitment to support and advocate for the student voice. And we encourage you all, as alumni, family, and friends of Otterbein, to support us in this advocacy, be it through mentorship, being on academic panels, or even gifts to the Otterbein University community. We want your support and we need your support. The only way that Otterbein can move forward is together. Now it is with great honor that I get to introduce someone who has shown their investment to the Otterbein community through their availability, transparency, amazing tweets, and letting students meet the cutest dog around. The 21st president of Otterbein University, Dr. John Comerford.
You are seeing live right now the adaptability that is Otterbein University. And if there was a good example of what the last 6 months has been like, you're seeing it right now. Just when we think we know what's going to happen next, the coronavirus, the economy, whatever it is, throws us a curveball. And I am so grateful to Steve and the alumni relations staff for putting together a great homecoming celebration, even in a slightly different format. And as I was saying before, I am so grateful to all the faculty and staff and students on this campus. The faculty have adapted every single course on campus and are ready to change modalities if necessary. The staff have changed everything about their operations, from cleaning to dining halls to residence halls to the way we interact in offices. Everything had to be rethought, and the staff did that amazing work and have really delivered great services to our students. Last but certainly not least, our students have been amazing through this whole experience. They have stayed positive. They have kept together as a community. And when we decided to call every single student at the end of summer just to make sure they were doing well and understood what was going to happen this fall, they were nothing but appreciative. Had good questions, but they've been here, and we're in our fifth week of class, and it's all going very well so far because of our students and the good choices that they're making as we're all in this together. I want to thank all of you, our alumni and our friends. We had moments in the last 6 months, and I'll tell you, in March, we weren't sure what was going to happen. A lot of our giving just sort of stopped in March and April as people had other concerns. But you all came through, and by the end of the fiscal year on June 30th, we had exceeded our annual fund goal. We had raised over $3 million for the university in that fiscal year. We had a special campaign for students in financial need, knowing that students' families were hurting right now, and we raised over $70,000 for that from 300 donors. We had the big give with the Columbus Foundation that you came through and raised over $90,000 for from another 315 donors. I just am endlessly impressed and truly grateful. Truly, truly grateful. When things get challenging, communities come together, families come together. They don't fall apart. Otterbein has come together, and I want to thank you for that. Now, through the last 6 months or so, prognosticators have had a good time, right? You've all heard what they've been saying. Well, It's a new normal, right? We've heard that. Nothing will ever be the same. Never let a good challenge go to waste. We've heard these and lots of big, bold, sort of crazy sounding predictions out there. A favorite word this year has been unprecedented. And so actually I looked it up. Do you know what the word of the year was in 2019? You can Google this. The word of the year in 2019 was unprecedented. It's a true story. And at the time, it was about climate change, and President Trump, whether you love him or not, he was doing things that were different and unprecedented. And so that was what it was all about in 2019. And my favorite thing about this article about unprecedented being the word of the year in 2019 was the last sentence of the article is, quote, hopefully 2020 will be a little less unprecedented in what happens in the world. So I don't know who wrote that article, but I completely blame them for 2020 because they set us up in a very terrible way in that article right there. But we're getting all these wild predictions about the future, and people can just say crazy things right now. So I have for you tonight, unveiling John's 6 not-so-wild predictions for the future. And so here's what I think the future of Otterbein looks like. Here's what I think the future of higher education in our society looks like, given the pandemic and given the many challenges we are facing right now. And they're not so wild. I think they're true. Number one, online education is not going to take over the world. The prognosticators are saying right now, well, this is it. Residential colleges are gone. Liberal arts colleges will all close. This online education has been so great that we won't need that anymore. Those people who are saying that are not talking to Otterbein students. They're not talking to my kids at home in K through 12 right now, who are desperate to get back to as close as we can get to what we had 6 months ago. I think right now, in fact, the value of what we do in person, in community, on campus, has never been on larger display. And my bet is actually that there's a whole generation of K through 12 students right now who have had a taste of virtual education, and they're going to want what we do more than ever in the future. That this is actually good news for what we do. I'm not saying there's no role for online education or I'm opposed. We do some graduate programs that way. Some courses can be hybrid. We do summer school that way. There's a role here for that for certain student populations and programs. But the heart of the Otterbein experience, the in-person, the relational, the campus, life-changing experience is going to be more valuable, not less, as a result of this experience. Not so wild prediction number 2, the divide between the haves and have-nots is getting worse as a result of this situation. The reality is we already had a big divide in this country, and education is the great equalizer. At least that's my belief as an educator. The more people you can get educated, the more chances they have at those good jobs where you can get closer to equalizing income and opportunity, and then that feeds into the next generation. The more educated you get, the less sexism you have, the less homophobia you have, the less racism you have. It doesn't solve all those problems, but it's certainly a huge benefit. And so education is really key to the future of our society. But what we're seeing right now in K through 12, the fact that the school districts that serve the poorer students are the ones that are more likely to be fully remote right now, just by the way things have worked out. We saw in Columbus City Schools, a good partner of Otterbein, that when they went remote in March, 1/3 of their students never logged in after March. The students that could least afford falling behind are the ones that were being left behind in this pandemic. That's extended to higher education. We have seen enrollment declines across all sectors of higher education, and it has been led by declines in first generation and lower income students. Again, the exact populations that can least afford this are the ones that are being hurt by this situation. And so Otterbein has doubled down on serving those underserved populations, and that's going to be more important at the end of this, not less. John's not so wild prediction number 3, inclusion is an economic matter. Now, the social justice movement has understandably and justifiably caught fire this summer for lots of great reasons, and we are supporting that and behind that. And those headlines about the unjustified deaths that we're seeing right now will continue to justify the headlines that they're getting. But it's going to be bigger than that. The fact is that if we can create a system that lifts people up and allows people to live their full lives, that's going to be what makes the big difference here. And I look around Columbus, and I think 6 months ago when this area had a 2.5% unemployment rate, and when I met with entrepreneurs and when I met with CEOs, what they told me is they needed talent. They're talking to a university president. They said, I need people with this skill set and that skill set. I just can't find good people. And yet I know there are zip codes in Central Ohio where the unemployment rate was above 10% before the pandemic, where there are people with just some more education and training that could meet those talent demands. We need to bridge that gap. We need to be intentional about that, and that there's an economic solution through education that takes us understanding that it's not just about the individual benefiting from education. It's the fact that if we can educate an individual, we all benefit. And that's the breakthrough in terms of justifying the investments we need in education. Not so wild prediction number 4, linking theory and practice will be more important in the future even than it is right now. Now, higher education, especially I will say liberal arts colleges, sometimes get beat up, unjustifiably, of course. I'm a little biased, but I don't think it's fair. We get a little beat up about, well, who needs, all these theoretical things, and we're walking around in the clouds, and what employers and students really want are these hands-on practical skills, and there's this call to sort of get away from that theoretical learning and get down on the ground and get practical. I think it's not a choice. I think the fact that we teach at a high level is good for our students, and we ought to be learning Plato and physics and everything in between. But the reality is we also need to pair it with the hands-on skills that students are going to need when they start their first job that employers want. And we're a leader in that area. If you haven't been to the point is the example of that. Our students are working hand in hand with a dozen employers on campus, having those experiences right now. They're doing study abroad, they're doing internships, the point and beyond. We have all these great programs. The gap on campus is that they're voluntary. Many students do them, maybe even most students do them. But the reality is not every student does them. And so if we're going to do this right, we need to have an every student will promise. And we're developing that program now to make sure that Otterbein is a leader in bridging the theoretical to the practical. So you get the best of the broad liberal arts education, and you get the best of the hands-on professional experience that you need to be successful in your career, because that's what our students want, and that's what our students deserve. Not so wild prediction number 5 is that breadth will matter even more. Part of this call about the relevance of education and higher education right now is that, well, what we need is these very special narrow skills. And so you're seeing at many schools, the major takes up 70, 80, 90 hours. There's not much room left for electives and exploration and broadening yourself out as a person. The reality is that's going to matter more than ever. I'll tell you just a brief story. We bought a new kitchen table. Very exciting stuff, right? And our old kitchen table, which we've had for 15 years, which we're going to move to the basement, is basically a slab of granite or marble or whatever it is on a wood stand, and it's massively heavy. We can't move it, so I needed to get movers in to just move that down to the basement. And so I found a local moving company. They came over to take care of it, and I was talking to the owner. We were one of their first customers. This was a guy who had worked for 30 years in the banking industry, got laid off, and decided to become an entrepreneur and start a moving company. I think that's going to be a common story, not just the layoff part of that, but that no graduate of Otterbein or any other school is going to have a straight line career where they do the same thing for the same company and they always have what they need. We're going to change jobs, change careers. Careers will change entirely in 10 years, much less 40 years of the career. They're going to need that breadth to be successful. And that's our wheelhouse, that breadth, that liberal arts, that broad education that is the hallmark of what we do at Otterbein is going to matter more, not less. Number 6, and my last not-so-wild prediction, is that community will heal us after all of this. At the end of the day, we long to be together. And that's one of the hardest things about this situation is we're staring at Zoom screens and not able to really get together. That's why our students wanted to come to campus. And as I talk to students, even if they had to wear masks and stay socially distanced and couldn't have, competitive athletics this fall and whatever else, they wanted to be here for the most part because they long for that community. And so we are launching a Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Campus Center, which was designated last January, which is all about healing through conversation. It is not about sort of we teach at you and you just have to learn things. It's about learning another person. It's about understanding where they're from and what they're about and what their values are and where they came from, and just listening and not being defensive and not having to respond or debate. It's just about knowing one another. That's what heals us. And that's what we do at Otterbein. That's what our community, that's what our campus is all about, is relationship. And so as we look at what our society is going to need, given our political divisions or racial divisions or economic divisions and all the stuff going on right now, the solution rests on campuses like ours. and the young people on our campus that we can form community with so they can heal us moving forward, relying on our students and our graduates to do that. So as you can tell, I'm optimistic about the future. I think Otterbein is well positioned to solve the needs of society now and in the future. But I've also got to be honest that there are short-term challenges. Our new student class, as I mentioned, all of higher education is down. Our new student class was down about 18%. Our retention was slightly down by about 4%. As we know, students are struggling financially. As we know, they're making different choices about how they want to approach education right now. Our residence hall occupancy was down because many of our students saw, well, half my classes are online or whatever, so I'm going to just commute from home or whatever it's going to be, or they might not have been comfortable coming back to a residential campus. All of this is having financial impacts, and so we are making tough choices. We've eliminated staff positions painfully. We are reviewing low-enrolled academic programs and making sure that Otterbein can emerge from this situation stronger, not weaker. And we know you're going to be there to help us with that. That's the pivot point for us, is will we just hunker down and try to survive this? Or are we going to use this as a moment to make the changes and improvements we need so that we emerge from this on the run, making sure that Otterbein is able to meet the needs of the future and serve students in new and innovative ways, not having just survived this, but gotten stronger through it and built our culture through it. And you're as much a part of that as I am, or anyone on campus is, our students, faculty, and staff. It is the Otterbein community and Otterbein family coming together to do that. I have likened this to, we are writing a chapter in the history book of Otterbein University right now. We will publish the next book at some point, and 2020 is going to be a chapter in that book. And that chapter is going to be telling. Are we going to have just merely survived, or will we have strengthened ourselves? Is this a pivot point upwards or a pivot point downwards that will take a generation to recover from? I know that we can make this a positive chapter in that next history book of Otterbein University. And here's the exciting thing. We get to write it together. This is not something where we're just dictated to and the history is going to make itself. I get to, you get to, our students get to, our faculty and staff get to decide what this chapter looks like. We are empowered now like never before to make a difference. If ever you're not sure about whether your work, your commitment, your gifts, your contributions, your work on the faculty and staff, your work as a volunteer, your work getting students to discover Otterbein and join our future classes, if ever you doubt if that makes a difference, it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference, and it makes a huge difference right now. And I know that this chapter will be a great one together, and I'm proud to be a small part of it. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Colette Masterson, and it is my pleasure to be here this evening to introduce to you the amazing students of our 2020 Homecoming Court. As you saw, the homecoming tradition has recognized current student leaders for many, many years, and that iterations began first with just a homecoming queen. Then we added a homecoming king, and now, for the last 4 years, we have recognized homecoming royalty. That is, 2 individuals, regardless of gender, who are our most highly coveted individual student leaders among our homecoming court. We're excited to introduce to you these individuals who represent the very best of our students in and out of the classroom. They are, in no particular order, Brittany Katona. She's an early childhood education major from Pickerington, Ohio. On campus, she has been involved with orientation, a past president of the Otterbein Catholic Student Ministry, and a past president of the Otterbein Student Education Association. Rachel Ferguson is an athletic training major from Medina, Ohio. On campus, she has been a member of our women's tennis team, an orientation leader, and a member of the Van Sant Leadership Program. Next, Reed Wollett is a psychology major from Worthington, Ohio. On campus, Reed has been involved in Pi Beta Sigma fraternity, has been a first-year peer mentor, and a member of the Otterbein University student government. Jillian Stetter is a global studies major from Cincinnati, Ohio. On campus, she has been involved with Kappa Phi Omega sorority, the Cardinal Corps leaders, and the Otterbein University student government. Carrie Robb is a music education major from Bell Fountain, Ohio. On campus, her involvement has included Residence Life, Otterbein's concert choir, and Sigma Alpha Tau sorority. Joining her is her sorority sister, Bella Shively, who is a nursing major from New Albany, Ohio. She's been involved with Sigma Alpha Tau sorority, as well as the women's soccer team. Kevin Diaz is a public relations major from Whitehall, Ohio. On campus, he's participated in Sigma Delta Phi fraternity, has been an orientation leader, and member of the concert choir. Angel Banks is a double major in psychology and criminology and justice studies from Chicago, Illinois. On campus, she's served as a resident assistant, a vice president of the Otterbein University Student Government, and president of the African American Student Union. Catherine Clifford is an educational studies major from Gahanna, Ohio. On campus, she's been active with Residence Life, worker with the Promise House, and a member of the Student Appeals Board. Kayla Daberkow is a member of Residence Life and Greek Life and is an exercise science and health promotion major from Hilliard, Ohio. Wyatt Price is a music education major from Tiffin, Ohio. On campus, he has been involved in Sigma Delta Phi fraternity, Otterbein's concert choir, and Towers Brass Quintet. Last, but certainly not least, is Elise Schneller, a nursing major from Radnor, Ohio, who has been involved with the SOAR team, the Student Alumni Board, and the Otterbein University Student Nurses Association. We are so proud to recognize these fabulous students who are members of the class of 2021 and our 2020 homecoming court. You will get to meet them and hear about their Otterbein experience during the virtual homecoming parade on Saturday, as well as see who will be selected as our homecoming royalty at that time. We invite you to join us for the virtual homecoming parade on Saturday online.
Hey Cards, this is Dawn Stewart, Vice President for Student Affairs and Director of Athletics here at Otterbein. Happy Homecoming 2020! What a crazy year it's been. It's a funky time for all of us, as I continue to say here on campus, but we're making our way, and we're excited that you're here with us again for another homecoming year. This year, our fall events have been moved to the spring. And so this spring, things are going to look a little bit different. So despite the fact that we don't have a football game for you to attend in person this year, or a soccer or volleyball game for you to attend in person this September, we want you to come back and visit us in the spring because there's going to be plenty of events for you to see. Our fall seasons have been shortened. They will play a minimal schedule come March and April. We want to see you on campus for those. We want to see you supporting the Cards. And obviously at the same time, our winter seasons will be going on, our spring seasons will be going on. There will be plenty of Otterbein athletic events for you to be a part of. So stop by and see us, and let's not forget to cheer for everybody. Go Cards!
The Otterbein Alumni Awards is a long-standing tradition at Otterbein dating back to 1950, when the first award was presented to mathematics professor Benjamin Curtis Glover, who was proudly named the very first honorary alumni at Otterbein. The program expanded in 1951 with the creation of the Distinguished Alumni Award, and that was first presented to Edgar Wineland, who was Otterbein class of 1891. For 70 years, alumni and friends of Otterbein have been recognized for their contributions to their professional work, to their local communities, and to service at Otterbein. Tonight, I am pleased to highlight 12 outstanding individuals who have joined this revered network. Of course, we are disappointed that we cannot celebrate with them in person, but we are no less proud of all that they have accomplished. Let's take a moment to recognize our 12 recipients of Alumni Otterbein Awards. 3 individuals are the recipient of the Rising Star Award, which recognizes alumni who have graduated in the last 15 years. The first recipient is Tony Bishop. Tony is a two-time Otterbein graduate who serves as the executive director of the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus. He was a member of the Emerging Leaders Delegation for the Congressional Black Caucus, and he was also stationed in the U.S. Liaison Office in Brussels for the European Parliament. We look forward to his future work in public service. Our next honoree is Andrea Drago. Andrea is the quality business partner for Mount Carmel East. She began her nursing career as a staff nurse at Mount Carmel St. Anne's and quickly rose in leadership roles for the hospital system. She dedicates volunteer time to mentoring nursing students, and she has served on both the Greek Alumni Council and the Young Alumni Board. Thank you, Andrea, for ensuring quality in our healthcare industry. The final rising star is Jonathan Hill. Coming from an Air Force family, it's no surprise that Jonathan began his professional career at Lockheed Martin Aeronautics, where he now is part of the worldwide media relations team at their corporate office. He's led communications efforts related to diversity and inclusion and workforce development. In service to Otterbein, he mentors students by inspiring passion-led decisions. Congratulations to our rising stars. Our next category is professional achievement, which recognizes alumni who have demonstrated professional excellence and significant career advancement. Crystal Kelly is the first of two honorees in this category. Crystal is a respected cinematographer who has been part of production crews for television, live events, documentaries, and films. Her work entails no fewer than 25 director of photography credits in film and web series. She's even a licensed drone pilot for aerial cinematography. Crystal tells stories through her cinematography, and we look forward to seeing her next tale on the screen. The second professional achievement honoree is Jeremy Young. Jeremy had a quick rise at SCI Engineered Materials, starting as a production manager and ascending to president and CEO. Columbus Business First named his company the fastest growing Central Ohio public company in 2019. Jeremy values his own undergraduate internship experiences, and he pays it forward by encouraging Otterbein students to intern with him. We are grateful for his leadership and dedication. Mina Mackery is the recipient of the Research Achievement Award given to recognize innovative, intensive, and thorough research. Mina is a vascular and interventional radiologist and assistant professor of radiology at the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. He already has published more than 40 manuscripts and 3 book chapters, with much more in development. He has been an outspoken advocate for resident training and clinical service, and he has been recognized for his unfailing commitment to caring for patients. The Pacesetter Award sets the pace for future generations of leaders and learners, and the 2020 honoree is Joyce Ray. Joyce works with the Columbus Foundation as the Associate Director in the Technology Product Manager Unit. Joyce is a respected thought leader in philanthropy, and among her many accomplishments, her work provided the platform for the highly successful The Big Give, which helped nonprofit organizations raise millions of dollars in the Central Ohio community. Her innovation and creativity will benefit professionals for years to come. Carl Niederer has been recognized for his service to Otterbein. A now retired archivist with the New Jersey State Archives, Carl spent years leveraging his professional skill set to establish the archives of Pi Beta Sigma fraternity at Otterbein. He also served more than 20 years as a permanent trustee of the Pi Beta Sigma Scholarship Foundation, which provides tuition assistance for fraternity members. His dedication has made Otterbein a better place. The Honorary Alumni Award recognizes a non-Otterbein graduate who demonstrates an outstanding commitment to the university. I am pleased to welcome Joan Rocks as the 2020 honoree. Over the last 28 years, Joan was a change agent for the Health and Sports Sciences Department. She helped to double enrollment in the department, to re-envision clinical and hands-on practice areas, and to provide seniors special study sessions for the Board of Certification exams. And many faculty and staff are grateful to Joan for her leadership in the ever-popular OtterFit program. Thank you, Joan, for making Otterbein a more fit place. David Robinson is honored for the prestigious Distinguished Alumni Award for his national contributions at the national and international level. A noteworthy costumer and designer, David's work has been seen on Broadway and on the silver screen. In 1988, he assisted with costumes for the Phantom of the Opera, the longest-running musical on Broadway. His work has been seen in such movies as Mississippi Burning, Scent of a Woman, and Zoolander. In 2019, David garnered a Primetime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Contemporary Costumes. Regardless of the genre, David's creativity and dedication showcase his unique vision. The final award is the Mary B. Thomas Commitment to Otterbein, which recognizes philanthropic leadership, service, and a commitment to advancing Otterbein's mission as a model community. Jim and Kathy Rutherford are bestowed this honor. As parents of a 1999 graduate, Jim and Kathy have been true ambassadors for Otterbein's values. Jim provided dedicated service on the Board of Trustees, and together, both Jim and Kathy focused on advancing the potential of students and programs to impact the world. The Rutherfords endowed a scholarship for first-generation students, provided a multi-year grant to raise awareness of Otterbein, and consistently supported the Otterbein Fund. Jim is proud of his philanthropy, and he once said, "We're helping deserving students become successful. When they become successful, they can help others become successful. To Kathy and me, that's how philanthropy works." To Jim and Kathy, thank you for your leadership and your commitment to future Otterbein students. I am incredibly proud of these 12 honorees tonight. Again, each of them have reached professional achievement levels, again, both in their professional work and in their service to Otterbein. Each of them deserves an individual ovation, and while we cannot be here together, we still wanted to give them an opportunity to express their gratitude. Please watch as our honorees accept their award in their own personal way.
Hi, I'm Tony Bishop. I want to thank the Alumni Council, Regina Kangla, and all the faculty and staff at Otterbein who have supported me throughout all the crazy things I've tried to do over the years. It's because of Otterbein that I've been able to choose a career path and rise to heights I never thought before possible.
Hi there, I'm Jonathan Hill. Just shouting out to Otterbein, thanking them for the Alumni Award, especially during the crazy COVID-19 environment and all the university has done to still recognize us. Really appreciate the recognition and want to definitely thank my friends and family, all the amazing professors I've had at Otterbein, and really just the whole institution creating an environment for all of us to be the best version of ourselves has reigned true in my life and in my career, and it gave me an amazing foundation, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you for the award, and everybody stay safe.
My name is Crystal Kelly, and I am from the graduating class of 2005. I am honored to be selected for the Professional Achievement Award, and I want to thank my parents, my friends, my family, and the Otterbein community for their support over the years. I work in the film and entertainment industry as a director of photography and camera operator. It is a profession that receives little to no recognition outside of the industry, so I gladly accept this award. and I hope it encourages others to never give up on their career aspirations. Thank you.
Hello. It's unfortunate that we couldn't gather together to celebrate everyone's alumni awards this year, but I want to take a moment and thank, first of all, the university for honoring me with this award, as well as Dr. Johnston for his nomination, and the rest of the chemistry department for giving me the foundation I needed professionally to be successful, as well as the university for allowing me to really build the leadership skills that I use even to this day in my professional life. So thank you. This is going to go in a very special place.
Thank you so much, Otterbein, for the award. I'm extremely honored and humbled to receive it. This is a huge honor, and it's definitely the highlight of my career so far. Otterbein has always been a very special place in my heart, and I've always cherished all the wonderful education and relationships and interactions I've had with my friends and professors and colleagues from that time. And again, I'm extremely grateful and thankful.
Greetings. I want to thank my colleagues at the Columbus Foundation for nominating me and the university for bestowing this honor. I am humbled by the recognition and grateful for the role both have played in shaping my career. My Otterbein experience deepened my sense of community and my passion for helping others. My work at the foundation allows me to inspire giving through technology, democratizing philanthropy so that anyone may participate from anywhere at any time. I look forward to the next chapter of digital innovation so we may continue to engage donors in strengthening communities.
I'm very grateful for this honor. My experience at Otterbein over 49 years has made it very easy to express gratitude through service. There I met my future wife, Marcia, class of '76, who has loved and supported me for over 43 years. There I met my roommate and lifelong friend, the late Bruce Lynchbaugh, honored in 2007 as a distinguished alumnus. Bruce has always been an inspiration to me. It's a privilege to remember and honor Otterbein's legacy by supporting its archives and history program, academic and fraternity scholarships, and participation in alumni events and activities. Thank you.
Hello, Cardinal Nation. I am thrilled to receive the Honorary Alumni Award. I am beyond touched and completely honored. As the Alumni Award winner, I spent time reflecting on who influenced me the most during my tenure at Otterbein. Without a doubt, Dr. Marilyn Day and Dr. Cynthia Jackson, both alumni, set the foundation for the true spirit of Otterbein. Each of them captured the essence of this award. Both modeled for me, starting 28 years ago, the importance of demonstrating the commitment and involvement of being an active participant in the life and activities of Otterbein. As a result, I am fortunate to have a wealth of colleagues and alumni friends because of witnessing their passion and devotion to this university. My Otterbein experience, coupled with this award, will be forever woven in the fabric of my life.
Wow, how fortunate are we to have such talented and dedicated alumni and friends? And how about the talent of our students and faculty? Senior vocalist Emma Kate Lamp, 21, musical theater from North Ridgeville, Ohio, and faculty accompanist Lori K. Harvey. You just heard from them. I know I'm inspired. Our alumni and students and friends that we heard from and recognized just a few minutes ago inspire me, and they make us proud. Thank you all again for joining us this evening to celebrate the very best of Otterbein. I hope you all enjoyed hearing from President Comerford on the state of the university, and even with the complexity of issues our society faces right now, the state of our university is very strong. We gain our strength from our community. Earlier this evening, we gathered with many members of our Giving Society, our donors and loyal supporters, to say a very special thank you. Many of you with us right now are part of that group. Whether you're making your first gift right now as part of our 1847 Giving Challenge, and I hear we're one donor away from 200 donors, so thank you for that. Whether you're one of those people that reached deep and made a gift to start a scholarship for future students, or perhaps you've included Otterbein as a beneficiary in your estate plans. This all adds up to make a true difference and impact for our students as we educate our graduates to live full lives, making contributions as leaders and citizens in their families, in their communities, and in their professions. We see and hear every day here on campus the impact of your time, talent, treasure, and testimony, your story you proudly share and show throughout the world. We are grateful, but most importantly, our students are grateful. I have the pleasure as we conclude our first virtual State of the University Celebration of Otterbein this evening for a few thank yous. And I'd like to begin with our alumni relations staff, Executive Director Steve Crawford, our advancement team and our marketing communication teams, our alumni council volunteers, our student alumni board, our wonderful tech team, Steve Rossman and Willie Franklin. And of course, another thank you to Emma and Lori for their music, our marching band we heard earlier. and all that participated in making our first virtual homecoming and family events today, this evening, and this week possible. And of course, congratulations to our award recipients. And again, thank you to our loyal alumni, parents, friends, and of course, our faculty, staff, and students. Now more than ever, I know you join me in being so proud to be a member of the Otterbein community. And congratulations and good luck to our homecoming court. As is our tradition, we will now conclude our celebration with a special rendition of the Otterbein Love Song, shared this evening by faculty conductor Gail Walker and our choir students. At the conclusion of the love song, we send you off with our gratitude, our warm wishes for good health, and encouragement that we can be together in person again soon. And now, our love song.